up until this point, this podcast has been pretty goofy, silly, funny, kind of just getting to know different people who are not in relationships with the hopes that maybe somebody out there will see a video and be like, oh my God, I think that's my person. And then I'm just like crafting love stories. At least that's what I think so in my head.
It's incredible, yeah.
But you actually reached out. This is Britt, everyone, by the way. And you actually reached out because you have a little bit more of a serious story to tell that's like kind of prevalent in what's going on with the Brianna and Bryan drama. So I wanted to have Britt here today to kind of like, we're still going to get to know her and ask her all of the like first date questions.
Right.
But stay tuned because I think we've got like some pretty serious conversations to have that are going to be really important to, I think, women. And men.
Yeah. Anyone who's ever been in a manipulative just relationship in general, when Brianna shared her story, I think she really spoke up for the people who were too scared to say anything. And I know for me, I have been just, I think, a little too hesitant to share my story and share my truth because I think in a way I'm like, did this even really happen to me?
Yeah.
Like, was this real life or did I just literally make everything up in my head? So I thought this would be a perfect way to not only share my experience, but share the lessons that I have learned, which I feel like is the most important component, because if I can share just a few things that I've learned through this experience that was obviously horrible, but if that could help one person, then it's all worth it, you know?
Okay, well, let's rewind a little bit before we really dive into like all the dark stuff. Tell the world a little bit about you. Like, what would you want somebody who maybe is interested in Britt to know about you?
Oh my God. Okay. It's so weird because I'm so used to doing these like in college where it's like, hi, my name's Brittany. This is my major. And so I'm very much out of college now. I'm trying to think.
How old are you?
24.
Okay.
I am a personal trainer. I also compete in bodybuilding.
When was your last relationship? We'll just start going into it.
I'll jump right in. So my last relationship was about 6 months ago. We dated for 4.5 years, all throughout college. So basically the last time I was single, I was 19.
Okay.
And I'm 24 now.
Me too, and I'm 28. Wait, no, that's the opposite. I'm the opposite. I've been single since I'm 19.
Yeah. So to say the least, the dating pool and like the dating rules, I'm so just like new to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get on a dating app. So like when you were talking about like people who don't want to get on a dating app, get on the podcast. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So,
you know, low-key, I have this like dream one day that the podcast will blow up and then I'll have my own dating app. But I don't know how I'm going to make it different than other dating apps, but maybe it'll be like voice only. Copywriting. I'm copywriting that idea right now. It's like voice memos only.
So I'm a voice memo person. I literally sent you a voice memo yesterday. That's like my favorite form of communication.
I love it.
Don't send me a text. Don't call me. I'm going to send you a voice memo. It's going to be 12 minutes long. But.
Well, I recently learned how to speed them up and listen to them 2 times speed.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
What?
You can press the play button, drag it down, and you can listen to it in 2 times, because also my friends and I communicate and sometimes they just talk really slow and it's like an endless stream of consciousness and I'm like, we gotta go. Okay. So you were 19.
Yes.
You don't know how to date in Nashville.
No.
Or at
Nashville's all. Like the dating scene, every person I've talked to who's single is like, yeah, good luck. It sucks. And I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Which I haven't really been like out there looking for anything. I've just been kind of in my like single girl era.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like, I don't know, like now that I've done a long-term relationship, I have no interest in getting into another relationship with just like anybody. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that relationship taught me standards, and it's like if you're going to spend that much time with somebody, they better be like incredible.
Have you gone on any dates?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to talk about them or
I don't mind to talk about them. They were great. I actually had a fling with a guy from another country, which was fun. And then
did you meet on Broadway? We did.
We sure did. And then I went on a few dates with this one guy who's incredible, but like we both were just kind of like just fizzled off, which is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But I feel like it's one of those things where if it's meant to be, it'll be. Yeah. It's just like not meant to be right
And
now.
how'd you meet, other than Broadway boy, how'd you meet the other guy?
I literally was bold. So after the breakup, I was like a month just like a hermit. I didn't go out, didn't do anything. And then I had one weekend where I just like went crazy. It was my sister's 21st birthday, and it was like all of our friends. I think we went out from like Thursday to Sunday, and I was just feeling bold. So this guy was like a mutual with one of my friends, and I just slid into the DMs.
On Instagram? And what was the message?
Here's my number in case you wanted it. Or like, I don't know. It was something like that.
Oh, we went straight to giving out personal information to strangers.
You know, thinking back on it, not smart at all. But like in the moment, I was like, yes, like this is so genius.
And it worked.
It did work.
Okay.
And he literally sent me a dinner reservation on text. Like that's the way he.
Oh, wait, what if you weren't free?
You know, for that, someone who can be that bold and that forward, I'm like, you know what?
I will make myself free.
I will make myself free. Yeah.
Okay.
I just happened to be actually free on that day, which was nice. But.
Okay, and where was the restaurant? Where'd you go?
Oh my God. Barcelona Wine Bar?
Okay, I still want to go there. I haven't been yet.
It was really, really nice. I was so nervous though. Like my first date in 5 years. What do I do? What do I say? What if it's awkward? What if I need to run away? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I still feel that way. And I've been single for a long time. That's why I hate going on dates. That's why I started a podcast. I would much rather sit on camera and have a conversation with somebody than I would go to a restaurant. I don't know why.
It's just like intimidating.
It is.
I think it's just like, especially eating in front of somebody.
Why do we feel that way?
Because I feel like we're supposed to be feminine and dainty, and like I don't want to be like. I am a fast eater. Like I don't know. I'm not
too.
Delicate when I eat.
Well, I actually have a theory as to why I eat fast, and it goes back to elementary school.
Oh my God. Okay.
I was like a weird kid that like bought the school lunch. Like I feel like most kids, their moms pack them healthy lunches, but my mom was a teacher and I just was a picky eater and I didn't really like, I didn't want peanut butter and jelly every day. So I bought my lunch. I was a buyer. Well, I went to like a pretty big, I lived in a pretty big county. And so there were a lot of people in the lunch line and it would take 20 to 25 minutes of the 30-minute lunch period to stand in line and wait for the food. And then I just had to eat because
you have no time.
You have no time. And
yeah.
Then they line you up early and it's like, wow, I literally have 3 minutes to eat my entire meal. So I feel like that's why I eat fast.
I think mine is from being in the restaurant industry because you literally have no time.
Just shove
but it like, yeah, you literally have to be so quick with it, especially if you're busy. And like for me, bodybuilding, I have to eat like every 2 to 3 hours. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's a lot, but worth it. Literally yesterday I closed and I have never eaten a big thing of pasta so fast. Like I was like low key, I made myself sick, but it's fine.
So as I mentioned before, you kind of said that the thing that kind of reminded you and made you want to talk about this was seeing Bree and Zach's story on the internet. And obviously Bree is sharing quite a bit about what she went through. What was it that really made you feel like, oh, I relate to that?
It was honestly pretty much all of it, but I'm trying to think of the one thing that stood out the most. I think when she said the person that I met like the first 4 months, that person that he was made me fall in love with him. So everything after that, I was just thinking of him as the person that I fell in love with. So for me, the people around me were like, you know, telling me, your boyfriend's a cheater, da 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 da. But I'm like, in my head, that's not true because the guy that's standing in front of me is the guy that's telling me he loves me, that he would do anything for me, that he wants to marry me, that he wants to this, that he wants to that. Not knowing that there's a completely different side of him that I didn't see until like the months leading up to us breaking up. And so that just kind of made my stomach drop, just hearing somebody talking about it and being like, okay, so maybe I'm not stupid. Because that's the thing, like when you find out someone cheats on you, and I think anybody who's been cheated on can relate, like I wasn't ignoring it. It became a complete shock to me. Like I was like, didn't think that person could ever hurt me in that way.
Yeah.
So then I would go, like after we broke up, I was going back and back and back. And I was like, what did I do? Like, what did I miss? Was I not good enough? Was I not this enough? Like you just go through this like horrible cycle. So Bree talking about that and actually standing on like, no, I wasn't stupid. I was just literally like the falling in love with potential. Yeah. I think that is like the biggest thing that I feel like us as women always do. We see the potential. We see the person that they are when they're fighting for us and when they like just want to be with us so bad. And then 4.5 years later, they're not that person at all, but you still, you know, have this perception of them.
Knowing what you know about the experiences that you went through, how could you tell somebody to look out for that? Like, what are the signs?
So I've been thinking about that a lot. I've been thinking about like, now that I'm single, what do I want to look for in a partner? And I think it's someone who honestly like doesn't love bomb, who's just respectful and just like is authentically themselves. I feel like people who love bomb are not necessarily trying to hide something, but they're trying to impress you. They're trying to
compensate for something.
Yes, they're trying to get you like to love them and to be obsessed with them, so then you don't look really any further into the kind of person that they actually are, or it's the complete opposite, or it's the person that they want to be. They just aren't ready to be that person yet, so they have no idea how to like throw that out there.
How often do you think it is that they are calculated and intentionally doing things to make you feel a certain way? And how often do you think it is that they've just never had to do it another way? Like they've never had to have the emotional intelligence to just truly be themselves or enter a relationship in a healthy manner?
That's really hard because I've gone back and forth with this, just me personally. Like, is this person intentionally being evil towards me and is like trying to throw me off and trying to like live basically a double life? Or is he genuinely trying to be a better person? Or is he genuinely trying to become this, you know, version of himself that he's showing me? I can't say, to be quite honest with you, because for me, like in my experience, I have gotten all sides of the story from other people saying that no, like this is completely calculated and this is completely like his MO, that he's doing this on purpose. Like, because I thought it was the latter. I thought it was he's not intentionally doing this. This isn't intentionally something he's trying to do, but he's just trying to figure himself out, and he's just doing what he does, just being kind of selfish in a way. But I've heard from other people it's complete calculation and complete manipulation. Yeah. So it's hard because I don't think I have a true like answer. Because I mean, and I also have little experience with other men as well who do that, so I have no idea.
When you found out that you had been cheated on, did you find out, was it one other person? Was it a slew of multiple women throughout your relationship? Do you even know to this day?
Not from the ex, but I've heard from other people that it was throughout our entire relationship. And the sad part is, it's like I heard rumors in college about like there was constant just things that people would say, like, do you remember the app Yik Yak?
Yeah.
Okay, so like on Yik Yak it would be like, I feel so bad for Brittany, her boyfriend cheats on her all the time.
Wow.
This is like anonymous. I'm like, I still don't know. Like, I still have no idea. I don't really think I want to know, to be quite honest with you, because that chapter's closed and it is what it is. Like, the only reason I'm standing here talking to you about this is because if I can help at least one person, this all was worth it. Yeah. Like, the hell that I went through, the healing that I did, like, it's all worth it. But going back to your question, the girl who DM'd me, because I found out through a DM, they had spent a weekend together. It was a random girl. I had no idea who she was. But throughout college, there would be rumors. A girl came up to me at a party one time and literally looked me dead in the face. I had no idea who she was. She goes, "Oh my God, your boyfriend cheats on you all the time."
So you're starting to hear this like as a narrative kind of consistently.
Yes, and I was like, here's the thing that made me like resonate with Brianna. I was like, but like, this is not the person that I know. All my friends are telling me that this is the story. All of my people around me, like random people, are telling me that this is the story. But I'm sitting here being like, there's just no way.
Because he's a different version of himself when he's with you.
And like, also, we were like spending the night together every night. We were like happy couple. Yeah. So I'm like, there's just literally no way.
Yeah.
There is a way. There sure is a way. And I think that was my desperate need for love in those moments, because just getting a little bit deeper into like why I think I was so just not listening to those people and not listening to what was right in front of me is because my mom was really, really sick. So I had a lot of personal stuff going on, and especially going through college with that. I mean, no one's mom is dying of stage 4 cancer. That, like, no one could relate to me in that. Yeah. So I think being in a relationship with somebody that was like going through college like normally and like partying and getting to like be all of this that I wanted to be but couldn't be, I put so much identity into that relationship that I just completely ignored what was right in front of me. Yeah. Because I had to like keep swimming, like to survive, to get to graduation, to be a normal person, because the latter was so dark and so sad.
Yeah. And then you feel like by admitting that those things were happening in your relationship, you're losing what is probably feels like your only support system, or at least what feels like your strongest support system in a time that you really need a support system.
Correct. And that's the thing, like, I don't think I could have handled what I did without that person and without my friends too. Like, my friends and him were a great support system, and I, as bad as it was, I will like give him credit, like he was there for me.
Yeah.
And that
almost makes it harder.
So like this goes deeper than just cheating on your girlfriend.
Yeah.
We dated for 4.5 years. We lived together for 3 years. Like, this manipulation, and like, I think that's what made it so hard for me coming out of the relationship to like be oriented back into real life, because I was literally like, that was it for me. Like,
Yeah.
I was done. I was like, I have my family, like, we're cool, this is great. And especially because I'm such a family oriented person, and since my family was falling apart through my mom passing away, because she was just such a big part of my life, I was like, need to rebuild, need to reshape, need to it's almost like I went into this like hyper fixated state where it's like, I need to get married, I need to have kids, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to create this like circle around me that I just wasn't ready. Like, I threw my standards out the window.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? No boundaries, no standards. We're just going to make him work, make the life that I have work, and that's going to be it.
Because you can't bear to suffer any more loss, especially at that time.
No, I couldn't. And like, I didn't even see it like that. There's simply no other option.
Yeah.
And like, I had broken up with him maybe like once or twice. We were on the verge of breaking up, and I just remember just like the anxiety that I felt knowing that like we wouldn't be together. I was like, I couldn't go through with it.
Yeah.
So he would say one thing like, you know, you're giving up on us, and I was like, oh my god, nope, I'm not.
So putting blame on you for the relationship ending.
Yeah.
Aside from obviously being unfaithful, what other forms of manipulation or unhealthy habits, looking back on, that you can see now?
Honestly, like, we had such a beautiful relationship for 3+ years, I'd say. And then the last like year and a half is when we started. And I think it's because we were so young and we were in such a transitional phase. So it's like graduating college and then trying to figure out what we want to do. Also living together. Like, there was all these things that we were trying to navigate. I was still grieving my mom because my mom passed away a month before I graduated college. So there was all these things that I was trying to figure out, and he was also trying to figure out as well. And we were just butting heads like crazy. Like, because we both worked 12-hour days. The house would be disgusting. Like, living with a boy, I'm sorry, men, you guys are really disgusting.
Yeah.
Not all men, but like, this is like, the house would be dirty, and I would like, can you please clean up after yourself? Like, I mean, just kind of like an old married couple, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, probably. But I think it just started to get deeper rooted into like this unhappiness because we were both trying to figure out what our lives were, but like wouldn't come together and just like at the end of the day be like, we can figure this out together. We're good. It was never like that. It was just like we were living 2 separate lives while dating.
Yeah. I can kind of relate to this. My story is completely not the same, but in a sense I can relate. The one relationship that I was in for 4 years, I got into when I was 15 and a half. I was in high school, and I dated him all the way through my senior year of high school and all the way through my freshman year of college. And I think we broke up my sophomore year. But we were long distance. So we had the opposite, you know, we were not like living together, but it caused its own problems because I really don't think there was any cheating or anything like that. Who knows? But I don't really think that's the case. Our problems more so stemmed from like me feeling like every time he would come into town, I'd have this like duty and like responsibility to like have sex with him. And it made me really not want to have sex with him. And he would like try to schedule out, hey, like I'm gonna get there around 5, and then do you want to like have sex and then go get to dinner? Like, he would try to put it on this itinerary so that he knew he was getting laid. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then, like, if I changed that when he got there, and it's like, oh, I'm hungry now, like, let's just go. It would be like, he wouldn't be, like, mad, but he would, like, be mad.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He would just be, like, throwing a fit, like, oh, well, you said we were gonna, like, do this. And it really, like, made me feel so used.
Okay, so I don't know if I've been reflecting on my relationship a lot and just my relationships in general. I think bringing sex into it so early throws off that dynamic because it becomes such a center in the relationship. And I personally, like, I want to connect with somebody on a emotional level before I even get anywhere close to the physical level. But I think for me as a woman, I feel like you could relate to this too. That's all I am. Like, I was like, okay, so they find me attractive, so I need to like do this, and this to make them more attracted to me, when it's like, actually, like, I'm attractive for my heart. And if you want to get to know me, and I want a guy to pursue me because they love my personality, not because they want to have sex with me.
Yeah, because there's so many people that you can just go have sex with. Like, I don't want to be that girl.
No, and that's the thing. Like, and I, for a long time, put all my identity into being physically attractive. And I think that's when I got cheated on. I was like, oh my God, there must be something wrong with me. I'm not attractive. I'm not beautiful. There's something wrong with me. And it honestly took me so long to just like break that narrative, because you know what? The people around me love me. They think I'm beautiful. I don't know why. I don't know. If you've ever felt like this, where it's like your friends love you so much, but for some weird reason, you cannot listen to them to save your life. You're just thinking about that one guy, that one time that said you were ugly, and you're like, oh, I'm ugly. Like, why are we putting so much identity into a man? It makes no sense to me. And I'm trying to figure that out myself, because it's like, I want to listen to the people who have loved and supported me, who have been honest with me, who have always had my back, not the guy who cheated on me and just like threw me to the side like I was nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. There was like other things too. Like, he really struggled with his trust in me, which is crazy because like I never gave him any reason to not trust me. But I was in college and I wanted to go out to parties and I wanted to dress up and wear the themed outfits, and like I would put on a crop top and it would be like World War III.
So he's insecure.
Yes. Yeah. I had a friend that truly was my like good friend. He was like a big brother to me. Like, his name was saved in my phone as Big Brother. And my ex knew this guy because we all worked at the same church camp together. They knew each other. It wasn't like, oh, SB's hanging out with some random guy that I've never met. But like, we would go get meals together and like whatever. Like, that's it. And he was in a fraternity and I would go to his fraternity parties and he would like look out for me and make sure that I'm okay. And for whatever reason, my ex thought that this, like, made up stories in his head that we were like doing stuff or like had emotional entanglements, and genuinely he was like a sibling to me. Like, similarly, he was the one that was there. My friend was the one that was there for me when my grandma died. Like, it wasn't my ex. Just the control too. Like, I feel like the more he would try to control me, the further I would pull away.
Yeah, I feel like it was the opposite with me. I think I get embarrassed, honestly, like talking about it, but I hope some people can relate. The further he would like push away from me, the closer I would want to be. I would just like literally like could not fathom the idea that he didn't love me the same way anymore, and it would drive me literally insane. Like, I didn't think I did anything crazy, but just like, I don't know, like if he didn't text me back, or if he didn't call me, or if he didn't do this, or if he didn't do that, I would just kind of be like, like, what the hell? Like, this can't be real. Like, I don't know. I think being in a relationship like that starts with like the love bombing and like it's so good, everything's so good, and then it goes to radio silence. I feel like that's for me what like drove me insane. And I think it started when we started having big problems, or we just didn't have the same, like, it wasn't lighthearted anymore. Like, we graduated college and everything got so real so fast. Get into the workforce, pay your own bills, do this, do that, do this, do that. And that is just something I don't think we as young adults were used to, especially living together and like trying to form a life together. Just nothing was the same.
So how long did it take you to kind of feel like, after this relationship had ended, how long was the mourning period? And when did you feel like, oh, I'm actually going to be okay? I have such a bright future. Oh, I'm only 24. Like, when did you kind of turn that page? And what has it been like trying to get back into dating?
I don't think I can give you a definite timeline, because I think, and my friends would tell you, it is up and down. And it's one of those things where I feel like when you're grieving something like that and someone that was such a big part of your life, I feel like in a way you'll always kind of get thrown back into time sometimes and be like, oh my God, I can't believe that actually happened to me. I feel like it took me a good like 2 months to kind of like finally be able to, probably a month to get like out of bed and to be like, oh my God. I don't know, for some reason though, like physically took a toll on me. Like after the breakup, I obviously had to move back in with my dad for a little bit because we lived together, and I had stress hives literally all over the place because I was literally like, what do I do now? And I think a lot of times too, when you get out of a long-term relationship, you think about all the things that you guys did together, and like you thought that you were going to be with this person forever and now you're not. So then you're like, oh my God, you know so much about me and now I have to like move on. Like, what the heck am I
And you can literally find something in everything that relates back to them. You can look at a blade of grass and be like, oh, remember that one time we had a picnic in the park? Like, I don't know about you, but I do that stuff.
No, yes, exactly. And like every time I go back to like where we were living, like the city, I was like, oh my God, PTSD.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had stress hives like all over my body, and I started breaking out really bad too. And I was just like at my lowest point after the breakup, and I was just like, oh my God, this makes so much sense as to why he cheated on me. I am ugly. Like, and I like just talking so negatively about myself. That was like probably for a full month. And then after that, I started, you know, going out with my friends again and kind of trying to like distract myself. And then I realized, I was like, okay, wait, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe being single isn't so bad. And then I went through this period where I was kind of dating, kind of like seeing people. And then around my birthday, which was in September, I kind of took almost like it felt like a relapse where it's
Backslide.
like, yes. And then I was like, oh my God. Because I think birthdays and holidays are just hard, because for me, like not having my mom anymore, like it's always just kind of like, dang, like this is like would be great if they were here. And so then having that double whammy of also losing my boyfriend of 5 years, I was like, oh, this is so fun. Like I'm having so much fun. But again, great people around me. We get through it. Then it took probably another month of me just like working through a lot of anxiety. I started therapy.
That's fun.
Love therapy. And honestly bouncing back, like the things that I freak myself out about and get really anxious about, because like for a while I was just living in like constant angst and I couldn't understand why. I talked to my therapist about this and I was like, I have no idea why I cannot like get a grip. And the reason why is because it's like I'm running through constantly the reasons why I'm not perfect. Like, oh, you did this, so you're not lovable anymore. You did this, and this is why he did this. Like trying to rationalize what happened to me, but only in a way that blames me.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like I was living in such this like turmoil and I couldn't figure it out. And then finally I woke up one day and I was just like, this is not full. I was telling my 2 friends, I had like, I'm a Christian, so I had like a big prayer journal God like situation for like 3 hours one Sunday. And I was like, you know what? I forgive myself for the mistakes that I made in the relationship. Like I was talking to you about, I was like, I acted crazy. That's why he cheated on me. That's why he ran away. It's funny. I dyed my hair. Don't know why I did that. It was like a darker red. Like it was still red.
What the fuck? Why would you do that?
I was having a moment of like deep, like can I show the camera like what I looked like?
I'm going to put it on screen. So you send it to me. We'll put it on screen. For anyone out there, do not dye your hair for a man. Don't do it.
It wasn't for him. He actually didn't. He didn't want me to do it. But Julie Hatch on Instagram, she's like this cute little influencer. She's got gorgeous red hair. Like not my red, like a darker red. And I was like, this is what I want. Like I'm going to get extensions. Like I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a different person. Babe, when I tell you, she put like dark red highlights in my hair.
No.
Like I'm talking like chunks.
No.
Of just like red.
Like Lola from Shark Tales?
No, yes, exactly like that. I freaked out. I was like, respectfully, you have to dye my whole head. So we went from doing just a little like touch of color to like my whole head was like dark red, almost like purple.
I had dark red purple hair in college.
So keep in mind, I was also like peak bulk too. So I was at the heaviest I'd ever been. My hair was a wacky color. What is going on? So that's a funny story. But like going back, I was like, I forgive myself for making those mistakes because I should be allowed to make mistakes. I am literally only human. But for some reason in my head, I was like, I can only be lovable if I'm perfect. I don't know, this like unreal version of myself.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it's not realistic to not make mistakes, especially in a 5-year relationship. So finally, after 4 months of being single, I was finally like, forgive yourself for the mistakes you made. Like, you've got to learn from it, and it's okay. At the end of the day, as long as I'm a good person and my heart is in the right place, you're fine.
Yeah. You know who I think we all are looking up to as like a celebrity couple right now? Kelsey Ballerini and Chase Stokes.
Did I tell you they were at the restaurant that I worked at?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, they were so like nice.
I met her at the Call Her Daddy live show in Nashville.
Oh, you went.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
went.
jealous.
So actually, this is kind of what jump-started me wanting to do a podcast was, well, I had the idea for a little bit, but I won through, I guess, Bumble did a giveaway to do a meet and greet. And so I actually got to go take a friend to the show and do a meet and greet with Alex Cooper in her dressing room after the show.
Oh my God.
Kelsey Ballerini walks in. I actually got a little viral video clip of her flipping off the crowd. And then it jumps to a clip after the show in the dressing room. And she's like, I don't know, I'm just a good girl and I have a little rage.
No, I didn't
Okay,
see
well,
it.
it went viral and she reached out to me and was like, can I post it? And I was like, yeah, for sure, whatever. But I just feel like the podcast interviews that she's done since getting into this relationship, obviously she had a really horrible relationship with her ex-husband and was going through a lot of, you know, like just heartbreak. And I think that it has been proven by Chase Stokes that a man can come into literally, she has a song.
Well, I was gonna say, what's the song? Like, did you see the TikTok of him like sobbing? She's singing on stage. I cried. I was like, yep.
But like, he is just living proof that like, you don't have to be fully 100% healed to deserve to be loved again.
Yeah.
You know, like there are men out there that can step in and be like, I'm going to help you heal, actually.
Yeah.
And I respect that so much. And I do think that that man should be protected at all costs. And he is, if you are a man and you're like, I don't know how to act, just look at Chase Stokes.
Yeah.
Act just like that. Fall in love, live your life, and everything will be good. Because I just feel like,
I think also the way he supports her too is just like so incredible.
Yeah.
Like I want a guy to, because I'm so ambitious. Like I have so many things that I want to do. I have so many things I want to pursue. And it's like one of those things where I don't want to feel like I have to hold myself back.
absolutely.
Or I have to beg you to come support me.
Yeah.
Ever. Like I just want you to be like, what can I do to help you? Like, you're doing amazing. Like, I'm so proud of you. You know, just like things like that. There's so many things that are so small that now I'm out of a relationship and it's just like, that's just like the standard.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, okay, so we're going to do hot takes later. I was like, hot take, a guy should bring you flowers on the first date. I was like, wait.
Is that a hot take or is that just normal?
Should that just be standard protocol?
Yeah.
Or opening the door for you?
Yeah.
I feel like that's should be normal.
We'll talk about this in hot takes, but I get uncomfortable when men are chivalrous to me and I really have to unpack that.
That has to be discussed because like genuinely same.
I'm like, wait, actually, can you
You're
just
like,
treat
wait,
me like
you're-
shit? It makes
I was
me
like, wait,
wait.
you're a little too nice. I'm so confused. There has to be something wrong. Where's the red flag? I'm looking for it.
Is
Can't
this
find
the
it.
love bomb?
No, is this
Is
it?
this
You
it?
doing the bare minimum? I'm scared. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
Right now, I really want to share just how I'm growing and healing. Like so on my TikTok, follow my TikTok, please. I beg you. I wanted to start posting like things about that I've learned that I have just gathered over the years because I've been through a lot. My mom was sick when she got diagnosed with cancer the first time when I was young. Shifted my whole entire dynamic. Just growing up wise, I just feel like I got this whole other level of anxiety I didn't even know existed. And now I can peg it as anxiety, but growing up, I just like didn't realize. I also think I grew up with a lot of self-confidence issues, which comes from being a redhead. And now people love it. When I was growing up, what was trending was being blonde and tan. And I am very pale and have red hair. So I was made fun of a lot of growing up. And I was like, oh my God, like the things that I literally cannot change about myself, people hate. And so therefore I hated them.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure that out. And I'm still trying to be like feeding into like who I am and like the things that I can't change. That's why it's so funny that I dyed my hair, because my mother, for one, would kill me. Like maybe that's why it looked so ugly, because she was like smiting me from heaven.
Was
like,
she
no.
a redhead too?
No.
Oh, okay.
She was blonde. She looks like my sister.
Okay.
Anyway, so just growing up with self-confidence issues, growing up from this anxiety of having my mom be so sick. She was in remission for I think 8 or 9 years before she got diagnosed with cancer again when I was in college. And that added a whole other layer of stress to my life that I didn't even know existed. Okay, so she got diagnosed during COVID, which didn't help either, because that added a whole other layer of just stress. And I couldn't even see her when she got diagnosed. I found out over a phone call.
Yeah.
With her doctor. From there, it went from doctor's appointments at 7 a.m., classes all day, checking on her, making sure she's okay, dance team, sorority. Like,
Wait, you were on dance team?
Yeah, it was.
Me too.
Shut up, no way.
I didn't know this about you. Okay, we're going into dance team next.
Yes,
Okay.
so I was on MTSU's dance team.
Okay, amazing. I went to a small D3 school, so it's not that impressive, but I loved dance team, and I was on my school's team for 4 years.
No, same.
Yeah.
Slay.
Okay, we're gonna circle back to dance team then.
Anyways, so that, while also trying to be a good friend, while also trying to be a good girlfriend, because I feel like my freshman and sophomore year, I was in the sorority, I was on dance team, like I was being so social. I was finally like coming into myself, because for some reason, like high school was just a big struggle for me. Like being super insecure. I also dated, like, I was a serial dater, I feel like, in high school. Like, I went from guy to guy to guy. And I think it's because I was just searching for validation, validation. And being single terrified me. Not having a guy's interest terrified me, because everyone's telling me, oh, you have red hair. Oh, you're ugly. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Had to prove them wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then moving into college, people were like actually interested in getting to know me. They actually loved my personality. And I was like, oh my God, wait, this is crazy. I still wanted to be that person, even with my mom being so sick. Even when she got even more sick, that added just even more stress. Like, I kid you not, like, I'd be going to dance team practice and I would just be like so emotionally drained from crying all day. I remember, and I was also working to pay bills in college as well. So I was working at a little chicken restaurant all throughout college. And I, like, the day she got put into hospice, I had to go close the bar. Like, I mean, I was just trying to navigate all of these things. And I've learned so many lessons through that. And now getting out of a relationship and being cheated on and having to learn how to like love myself again. It feels like I'm like that. For a minute, it felt like I was that little girl, like in middle school and high school, that everyone thought was ugly and not worth anything. And I built myself up from basically the ground up, I feel like, in college. And now finding that as a young adult and getting back into the world as me, the individual, not me, the girlfriend of so-and-so.
Yeah.
I feel like that is what I want to put out there. My whole brand has always been helping other people, putting positivity out there. Like, that's why I wanted to come on here, not necessarily to talk drama or lore or whatever. It's more of being like, this was my situation, and if I can bounce back from it, like, you can too. Being a caretaker with trying to navigate life and just all these different things. Like, I just feel like I've learned so many life lessons.
I was having a discussion with one of my best friends the other day, and because you have overcome so many things and because you have had to deal with them on your own throughout your entire life, you probably want somebody there to like do it with you. But at the end of the day, it's actually a blessing that you have the ability and you know that you're capable of going through these hard things in life by yourself, because if you have to, you can. And that is always true for other people. But I know I'm kind of using her story to validate how you're feeling too, but we were having that discussion, and it seems like it is very true in your case too. Like, I truly cannot imagine going through those things. Nobody should have to do that as like a young adult. That sucks. Like, there's nothing else to say. Like, that freaking sucks. And I think that you deserve somebody that's going to be a rock for you, but just the fact that you don't need it is really powerful too.
I think too, like, what I was craving so bad was for someone to like care and protect me.
Yeah.
Because like carrying so much heavy stuff by yourself, you just want to be able to like be mindless and be able to like be with somebody without having to think about all the other things that you have going on, and just to be like so just
vulnerable,
safe and vulnerable. And I thought that's where I was at.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made me feel so anxious coming out of the relationship, because I was so myself. And being rejected in a way, like being cheated on and being like forced into the breakup, like I feel like that is a version of being rejected. And so it's like I took it so personally, like I'm being rejected. Something about me isn't good enough. Something about me made them do this.
And it's impossible to not associate that with, you just put your entire life on the line. You were being your true self, and then you got punished for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how that is extremely hard to be able to build back up, and that's tough.
I think though it is so beautiful, and like having a relationship with God, and like this has pushed me towards my relationship with God too, which is very special to me. All happened for a reason. I said the prayer. I was like praying after we had this huge fight, almost broke up. Next day I wake up, I'm like, God, this is just so hard. Like, I don't understand. I keep trying. I'm putting myself on the line. I'm putting everything out there, and it's not working. If it's not meant to be, take it away. 4 hours later, got the DM on my phone. It was over. I was like, so you didn't have to hit me with a bus to let me know, but
that
like,
is quite the timing.
It was scary. It was scary, but it's meant to be, because I feel like now I wouldn't be in the position that I am if I was still in that relationship. Yeah. I wouldn't be growing the way that I'm growing. I wouldn't be pursuing the things that I'm pursuing. I think being single in our early 20s is so important to, like, even what you were saying earlier, just knowing that you can do things by yourself. You don't have to, but you can, I think is really powerful. One thing that I have is the work ethic, which I don't say nice things about myself normally, which I need to be better about. But one thing is, I will be working the 70, 80 hours a week to get what I want. I will be pursuing the things that I want, even though I'm terrified. Like right now, trying to do like fitness. I'm a personal trainer. There's a lot of things that go with that. That's really intimidating, especially going into such a saturated space. Like, but I want to work for it, because I want to create this life for myself that I envision and that is completely bigger than me.
What are your career goals? Like, take away all the fear, take away all the like whatever people might think about what you're going after. Like, picture what on paper, I want this.
Okay, so I would love to be an IFBB bikini pro. I would love to be a sponsored athlete. I have a few brands in mind.
Name drop them.
One specifically, Dark Sport. I love you. I actually got to do a campaign for them.
Okay.
When I lost my mom, their drops are so meaningful. Like, this is like the ultimate brand for me. The drop was called Wish You Were Here. And I can read you my speech. It was probably like a page of just how strong my mom was throughout cancer and what I did after she passed away to honor her. So after my mom passed away, I went back to school. I got my master's. I competed in my first bodybuilding competition. I mean, I just did all these like huge things that I never thought I would do. And it was all for her, because she's not here to do those things. And she literally told me one of her last things that she ever said to me was like, with her being lucid, was you're so far above where I was when I was 21 years old. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, you're going to do so many great, amazing things. So I think I just took those words and I was like, we have to do something huge. So I just went above and beyond, and Dark Sport picked me to represent my mom in the campaign, and it was gorgeous and it was beautiful.
And now we are seeking a full-time partnership.
And now I would like to be a sponsored athlete. Thank you so much. I love you guys. You're amazing. So those are two things. I would love to have my own online coaching business, being a personal trainer. Love to be an influencer of some kind of situation. I don't know if that's lifestyle. One thing about me, I can yap on camera, so I'm trying to be better about that. I'm recording it, but
yeah,
just some type of like inspirational like situation. Like, I don't know.
So that leads me into my next question, which is when you're looking for maybe you're not looking for a new relationship right now, but in the future, if you were to start dating somebody, what would be your absolute deal breakers? Like, get on board or get off board?
For me, I want somebody who is confident, not cocky. I don't want anyone who's arrogant. Cocky is definitely a deal breaker. Going out all the time, deal breaker for me. I want someone who prioritizes their relationship with God, their money, their business, like me somewhere if I'm in the list eventually, but I'm just talking about like a guy in general. Like, I need someone who has their priorities straight.
Yeah.
I think businessmen are like great, like the right kind of guys that are pursuing like things that are just unimaginable. Someone with a big imagination, I think too.
And you need somebody that's going to let you do that too, because you
Correct.
don't need somebody that wants a wife that sits at home. It sounds like to me.
For a little bit there, I thought I could.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I do like online coaching, But honestly, like I'm just so out there. Like I'm just ambitious. I want to be doing 100,000 things at once. That's why I couldn't do a 9-to-5 job. I worked a 9-to-5 job for a long time.
Me too.
And
I quit.
Peace loved the state of Tennessee, but I couldn't do it. Yeah. I was driving myself absolutely insane because I would be dreaming about the things that I'd want to do at my desk.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing my job. I was like, literally snap out of it. Like, let's go jump and pursue the things that you want. And I gave myself a year. So until I'm 25.
Don't put time constraints on it, because here's the thing. You never know how long it's going to take. It could take you 5 minutes or 5 years or 50 years. But if you put, by the time I'm blah, 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 I want to have this. And if you don't get it, it could crush your souls and dreams. And it really shouldn't.
I think for me, it's more of like, it's like success too. Like, and like, that's the thing. Like my success right now is all emotional. It's not really physical. Like I'm helping my clients. Like I'm finally building my books and I'm doing the things that I feel like I'm finally like slowly but surely getting to where I want. But I feel like for some reason, like in my head, and I think to prove to like my family or like the people around me, I have to be making so much money or be this, and this to like actually like validate me doing what I'm trying to do. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. I literally quit my job to run my own business. I'm making a podcast in my free time, which is all of my time because I'm in charge of it. And the podcast makes $0, but I'm having fun with it. And it like is something that I feel passionate about and I would love to grow. And like, obviously it could become something that is like, I'm in the same spot here with that as you are with like your business.
Yeah.
But also, I do use the fact that like I'm still making X amount. I'm actually making X amount more than I was when I was at a job to for whatever reason prove to people that I made the right choice. Yeah. I know I made the right choice because I'm happier. I'm getting to do the things that I love. I'm having success. People are coming to me and wanting to work with me. But for whatever reason, like the dollar amount on the page is still what people are going to be like asking about.
I struggled with that so much when I quit my job. I was like, I need to be immediately making this amount of money to show that I'm successful.
Yeah.
Success in what I'm learning now, I feel like me and my friend were talking about this today. We are too grown to be focused on what other people think about you. So it's like the only reason I would be stressed about money is because I have to feel like I have to prove myself to somebody. But like if I'm happy in the life that I'm living, like it literally should not matter how much money I make.
Absolutely.
Like I could have $100,000 in the bank account. You never know.
And people probably don't care, to be honest. Like,
no, like
maybe your dad, maybe like your parents are like a little worried. I went through that phase. Like when I was just moving to Nashville, I told them that I was not going to, which this is kind of ironic now that I think about it. But I told them like, hey, I'm actually going to drop the education portion of my major because I don't want to be a teacher. Fuck the kids. I don't like them. I don't have the patience for them. Like I can't go into education. Because I wanted to be an elementary school teacher, and then elementary schoolers really started to piss me off. I don't know. My mom was a
okay, that makes more sense.
Teacher her whole life and is now an elementary school librarian, and like she loves it. And I did camp counselor for like 5 years, and I did love it. But I started student teaching in the county that I went to college, and it took about a couple weeks for me to be like, oh no, I have to not do this. And I remember when I told my parents that, like, they supported me, but it was definitely some apprehension.
I watched I love Call Her Daddy, and I watched the Anna Kendrick episode where she was literally like, which was also another reason why I wanted to get on her podcast because of her experience. We can get into that in a second. But she was like, my parents, when I finally bought my first house, they finally were like, oh, yeah, okay.
And it's like, their natural job to like worry about us.
And
but
it's a blessing to have them worrying about us, but it also makes me question myself. Like, like, am I not doing the right thing?
If you don't believe in me, like, should I believe in myself?
Yeah, literally.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not asking for money anymore, I feel like we're doing all right.
Yeah, literally. One thing that she said that has stuck with me ever since is she said that there was an overnight switch in a year. And that resonated with me so hard. Because like I told you, like everything was magical. Everything was fine. And then all of a sudden one day just was not okay. And everything was bad. And everything felt like hard work and just stress and just all of this different stuff. And I could never blame him. I was like, it has to be something that I'm doing. I'm the one who's grieving. I'm the one who's depressed. I'm the one who's anxious. Like, there's something wrong with me and I'm not giving him something that I should be giving him. And I think that was really, like, when she said that in the podcast, I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense that she would feel like that, when in reality, that's not what was going on at all. There was something was changing, and someone in their relationship was not being honest about it. I literally think my biggest takeaway from that was just like, not everything is going to be my fault. I'm one of those person that takes almost too much accountability.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, he's going through a hard time and I'm going through a hard time too, but like, I'm not being there enough for him, so I need to like literally throw everything that I have ever thought about myself out the window and just literally be supportive of him and just be proud of him.
This is going to be a niche topic that no one's going to care about, but dance team.
Oh my God. Let's talk about dance team.
Okay, tell me your coach. Were they like really hard on you guys, or was it like, did you have a chill coach?
Compared to my dance teacher in high school, this coach was like very chill. We competed at UDA and like did all those things.
I was an NCAA team, so we went.
We did NDA our first year,
or NDA, yeah,
and we made it to finals, and it was like this big deal. And then we switched over to UDA, which is where all the big hitters are.
Yeah,
which I mean, there's still extremely talented teams at NDA, but like UDA,
what division were you in?
D1.
Yeah.
So UT, Ohio State, Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's actually so funny because I started when I was really late. Or really old. So I started when I was like 14.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I started very, very old. And I had to work very, very hard. And of course I had the odds stacked against me. I'm a lefty. So I turn on my left.
No.
My more flexible foot my leg is left.
Oh,
and
no.
every turn section in the history of dance is on the right.
Yeah.
And it's like so impressive when people can do the left, but I'm like, can we just do the left? Yeah, can we just do the left?
Hey, it's a good skill to have because then you can have like people on either side and you do both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that could be a fun choreography choice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've always loved dance. It's so funny. Like I did volleyball and softball in middle school. I'm honestly not the most coordinated. Oh, like you've seen this. We play volleyball together.
I'm not coordinated.
You saw how bad I struggled during volleyball. So imagine that, just like trying to play sports in general.
I'm the same way, but I still continue to play volleyball because it's fun.
It is fun, but I just like the stress of being so bad and like being
fuck them. If you think I'm bad, if it's annoying you, like sorry, not sorry.
Maybe volleyball's not for me. I do enjoy it though.
No, you're gonna come back.
Okay. But yeah, I played volleyball and softball, and when I quit softball, my dad was heartbroken. So I was doing both, and then for like varsity dance team in high school, you couldn't do both. You had to do one because the season was like year round. And so I quit, and my dad was like, "I want to do dance." It's so like, why? And I was like, I don't know.
I was the opposite. My mom was like, "Please don't do soccer. Please don't do soccer." I was like, "I don't want to do soccer."
No, you're like, I'm good.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So that's also like for all my girlies, self-made dancer. I got you. It was the darkest point in my life being the worst on the team. Like, and I was hands down was the worst on the team. And that brought me so much anxiety because being already an insecure little girl, I could barely talk to people in high school. Like my face would turn bright red if you tried to speak to me because I was so just like shy.
I was scared in high school too.
I just like couldn't like hold a conversation. Like it was scary. And being the worst on the team and always messing up and always embarrassing myself, like that was just, it was tough. It did not add to my high school experience.
Especially my freshman year, I feel like I had a lot of work to do. I guess junior year of high school, I had mono, so I didn't dance for like a year, which like really messed up. I gained weight, like I lost flexibility. I was just out of practice. I was never a strong turner or jumper. In dance team, I feel like I was a good blender. Like I like knew my counts. I was sharp. I like had good performance quality, I feel like. But I just was mid with the technique.
Only thing that I added to the team was that I could do a solid leg extension.
Yeah, I was a flexible girl.
Only thing that I had going for me was that I could do a left tilt and I could hold it for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
Everything else,
blend.
We just blend. Put me in the back of the turn section. You could maybe put me in a little jump section, little like choreography situation. It like honestly just took me a while to get like oriented in my body. I couldn't figure out how to memorize dances.
Oh yeah.
So like freshman year of
and they're
high
so
school,
mad at you if you don't do it right. Like
so
that is how you get yelled at.
The dance team that I was on, like we were like doing very complex dance routines, which if no one's like watching me specifically now, but like I literally looking back, I'm like those routines are so hard for someone that's like within their first year of dancing.
What is your type physically?
tall because I'm a tall girly.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
We have a lot in common.
Oh, so, and like I'm in the gym a lot, so I need a guy who's not like is obsessed with themselves at the gym. Here's the thing, I'm on my new wave. Like, a guy has gotta pursue me.
Any final thoughts before we move to hot tub takes?
Okay, just some closing statements for the things that I've shared today. I think women specifically to know their worth and their value. I feel like as women, we sacrifice what we want or who we are to be with another person, because for me, I know I put other people's before myself, even with friendships, not even relationships. And I think as I've matured and grown through this breakup, it's so important to put yourself first always. And you can do that in not being like selfish. There's ways to go about it, but love someone without forgetting who you are. And that's what I'm learning in this whole, like, I think dating is now fun because I'm always going to put myself first. I'm not going to take it so seriously until it's ready to be that serious. I think for me, after being in such a toxic cycle, just only thinking about one person and what my life would be like with that person, now I've moved on to be like, you know what? Like, life is so short. And I know it's so cheesy. People always say that, but I think my mom also just like passing away when I'm so young. You are capable of doing amazing things. You just have to have the courage and the drive to do it. Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know where I was going with that, but
that's important.
Yeah, that's literally mic drop. That's all
That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here, being like my first serious episode, which I think is so important. I don't want this podcast to be a place where anyone who is thinking about coming on here, I've kind of explained to them the podcast is what each guest makes it, which I think is so special. It doesn't have to be horrific dating stories. It doesn't have to be about sex. It doesn't have to be about religion. It doesn't have to be about anything in particular. It's just about you, and it's just about rebranding this thought of being single as like a negative connotation and being independent as bad. And we're making single luxury. You're eligible.
Yeah, I think this is also something I wanted to talk about, like just bouncing off of being single used to terrify me. And I think when I got out of a relationship, because a lot of my friends are getting married or they have kids, and I'm like, oh my God, now I'm single and I'm starting from ground zero. But I think that's so special.
Yeah.
I think being single at 24 and being able to make mistakes without being with somebody, or just even getting to experience life just on your own 2 feet. And doing things that are just, like for me, I want to move to Texas in a year. That's so random, but like if I were still in a relationship, that probably wouldn't be in my thought process.
Yeah.
That wouldn't even be in my mind.
Yeah.
But now there's things that I want to do. There's things that I want to pursue that are just completely and utterly for me. And for 4 years, probably like 2.5 years, I just didn't think like that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the person that's most important. I have to support them. I have to be the perfect girlfriend, the perfect this, the perfect that. And when I got out of the relationship, I was like, I'm worthless. And that's very sad. Your worth doesn't come from loving someone else. And I think that's what I learned from that experience. My worth stems from me being who I am as an individual, what I can share. And if I can look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day and be like, you are a good person and you are pursuing unimaginable, and it's okay to like trip up, it's okay to mess up, it's okay not to be perfect, then I'm good.
Yeah.
Like if I'm out here being a bad person, someone come get me. But like as a
little checks and balances.
No, yeah. Like, but that's the thing. Like, hold yourself accountable, but also like give yourself room to be who you are and to know, like, to find out what you like, to find out what you don't like. Like, it's okay to be you. And I feel like as women, we're like so scared to step a toe out of line. Like, the guys are the ones that get to like, I saw that. Have you seen like the 4B movement?
Yes.
Okay. Not talking about that extreme, but I think,
I mean, hey, if you want to, more power to you.
Yeah, correct. I think for me personally that there's like a good conversation to have with that when it comes to like, why do the men get to have so much control? Like,
they don't. Fuck you guys.
Well, like, I mean, that's where I'm kind of got to this point where I'm just kind of like, I deserve just as much as respect. I deserve to be thought of in the relationship. I deserve to be pursued. I deserve to be chased after. And I think I lost that. I lost sight of that. Like, no, like, we are prized to be one.
Okay, I want to end this episode with a quick little game of hot seat. Goal here is to go as fast as you can. If you could switch lives with any celebrity for a day, who would it be and why?
Alex Cooper or Alex Earl because they literally are living like a dream life.
What's your favorite movie?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Love that movie. Comfort movie. So good.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Matthew McConaughey.
Okay. What is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
Vampire Diaries. I'm rewatching it right now. Or Grey's Anatomy.
So good. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
For sure to fly. Yeah.
Fly. Go-to comfort food.
Probably like sweet potato fries. So random, but
farthest place you've ever traveled?
I've never been out of the country. Fun fact. I'm from California, maybe from here.
Okay. If you were offered $1 million to quit your job right now, would you do it?
No, because I am manifesting that I will make that soon.
Have you ever gone skinny dipping?
No, I haven't.
Did you ever have a crush on a teacher?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Have you ever played strip poker?
No, I haven't. I'm boring.
Do you think you're a good kisser?
Yeah.
How old were you when you had your first kiss?
13.
Have you ever been scammed?
Yes. Do you want to hear the story? So embarrassing. No, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was restaurant manager for a long time. So at the restaurant I work at, one of the hostesses says, "Hey, like the police are on the phone for you." And I was like, "For me?" And he was like, "Yeah, he asked for you." So I pick up the phone. I'm like, "Hi, this is Brittany. How can I help you?" And he was like, "I need you to repeat to me that anything that I say to you is confidential." Like super like scary. And I was like, yes. So I go all the way back into the office and I'm talking to this guy, and the call is coming from the Lebanon Police Department, which is where my dad lives, and that's the address on my driver's license. So it's like all kind of connecting, and I'm like, holy, I'm scared. And he was like, "You missed jury duty and now are being arrested," or it's like something along those lines. And when I kid you not, like I'm like shaking, like I'm so scared, and I'm like, "Sir, you don't understand, like I don't live with my dad. If the letter went to there, like I'm not gonna know." Like, and he was like, "Stop talking. I'm not your parent. I'm not your mailman. Like you did this wrong." And like I'm a people pleaser, so I'm freaking out at this point. He's basically telling me I need to bring $2,000 to the Lebanon Police Department. I was like, "I need to like call you on my personal phone because we don't have an ATM, da 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 da." And so I walk over to the gas station. I'm just thinking about this gas station worker because I'm sobbing my eyes out. I'm like, "Sir, like you have to be patient with me. I'm trying to do this." And he's like just yelling at me over the phone. My friends are texting me being like, "You need to hang up. Like this is a scam. This is a scam." And so I hang up the phone and I collapse to the floor and just start sobbing.
Did you give him the money?
No.
Okay, so you didn't. Okay.
No, I didn't give them the money, but I was like so close to, and I literally just collapsed on the ground, and the gas station worker just was staring at me. Didn't ask me if I was okay. He was just like, and my friends came and got me. I called the non-emergency line. I was like, "Am I in trouble?" The math isn't mathing, but in my head, I'm like, this man is yelling at me over the phone, and I'm like, I'm in Murfreesboro at a chicken restaurant. How would he get like it? Like the correlation didn't make sense.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that is funny. Let's go do some hot takes. If you think Brittany is beautiful, then you have half a brain cell because obviously she is. So you should shoot your shot on eligiblepodcast.com/shoot. Pick Brittany's name, leave her a little message. If you do that, I will send her all of your information, and then maybe you guys will fall in love, and it'll be like the new Kelsey Ballerini and Chase Stokes. So
you were basically the Bachelorette right now.
I mean,
the
honestly,
guy that runs it.
Someone needs to be, because like what is happening to that show? Okay, we'll get to that in hot takes and scene.